Gosh, I hope he notices me tomorrow in English class. I just sit there every day in AP Lit, hoping he sees me. I mean, I wore that one sweater and with the fun stripes, and then I had my yellow Peter Pan collar peeking through, and I thought I looked so cute. Oh, I know. The new Black Keys album comes out tomorrow, so maybe if I listen to it, I have something to talk to him about. That'll be it. Oh my gosh, totally. Crap. I have to finish my Grapes of Wrath essay first because my mom said she wouldn't buy me the new Black Keys album on iTunes unless I finish my Grapes of Wrath essay first. Okay. Oh, but Glee comes on tonight. That was a reenactment of me at 16. Today's theme for Reading Rush, Day 3, is Nerdfighteria. Mostly meaning I am going to throw myself back in time to when I was 16, 17 years old, and I was a real proud nerdfighter. If you don't know what being a nerdfighter is, or Nerdfighteria, it is a movement, a fan club that came out of John and Hank Green's Vlogbrothers videos. It started in like 2009, and its peak was like 2009 to 2013. Which was the entire time I was in high school. It was all about getting rid of the suck in the world, the mediocrity in the world through positivity and embracing one's nerdy self, which is something that I really loved. So I thought I would do that today. I woke up this morning feeling pretty sniffly. I am having quite a little bit of an allergy attack, which is also very peak me in high school. So I can't really go outside and I can't wear a lot of makeup because I don't want to upset my face. So I thought this would be fun and a little bit of a throwback. Speaking of which, the look today, the aesthetic today, will be my high school bedroom, which is the same bedroom I still live in currently. So that hasn't really changed much. And also wearing what I would have worn in high school on a lazy day, which involves this Nerdfighter t-shirt that I bought from the DFTBA website in 2012, designed by Karen Cavett, the graphic designer of all Nerdfighters, that says, "Why buy anything when you could be buying books? This shirt is so old that the plastisol ink is cracking." Also, I'm wearing a brightly colored Old Navy cardigan, which very much was my vibe, a little silk undershirt, button-up undershirt with the collar peeking through. It should have been Peter Pan, but those died, I think, in 2013, so I don't own any more. And some Old Navy chinos. Now I'm going to show you how I would have done my makeup, so we're really ready, and then I'll talk about the books I may or may not read today. Okay, so I will do my hair first. So what I would have done is this. Okay, so I would have put my hair back in a ponytail. I almost never wore my hair down. I would have done this, and I would have put it fairly high on my head because I loved a Rachel Berry high pony moment. She was quite an inspiration for me in terms of fashion. It's like a really bad looking ponytail. And then I would have taken this part of my hair, because I used to always have bangs, so I would have taken them out. I don't have any barrettes, but I would have taken like a barrette or a bobby pin. And then the makeup look. Now for makeup. I only used really like 4 things. I do like the most light coverage of liquid foundation humanly possible. I would have only done my cheeks. And then I would have used blush, and I would have done really just like a line and then a little bit on my cheeks like that. So that's my face. Final step is I would have taken a super neutral eyeshadow, like cream, and just put it on my eyelids. This is how I would have looked during this time in my life. So what am I going to read today? I plan on only reading one book because I started so late in the day, and I have a movie day tonight to watch The National Treasure with one of my friends. So I have 4 options. These will all be rereads because I wanted to pick something that I really loved in high school. The first option, I had to throw in a John Green book, and I had to throw in my favorite John Green book at that age, which was An Abundance of Catherines. I know, spicy take. This should tell you how unpopular this book was because I got this book for $4 and the publisher printed it this way. This is how badly they want to get rid of like stock. I will not do this one. I will not reread this one. I do think it's interesting that it won a Prince honor because I feel like it probably shouldn't have. I love this book so much that this is the reason why I became a Nerdfighter, was because I realized after I read it that John Green had a YouTube channel. The next book on my list was a favorite of mine also in high school, and that is Hex Hall by Rachel Hawkins. Hex Hall is super fun. I feel like a lot of people my age read this when they were teens or preteens, and I thought this would be a fun reread because I still really enjoy Rachel Hawkins and I feel like it'll probably hold up. But I found this book really spooky, which is bizarre to me. I remember reading it and being like, I'm scared! Next we have Lola and the Boy Next Door, which I read before I read Anna and the French Kiss. Fun story about this book. I was really into booktube around the time that I was also very into Nerdfighteria, and a lot of it was one and the same in my opinion. And I loved the channels of Ariel Bissett and Raylene from Padfoot and Prongs 07, who now they both run the Reading Rush. And I loved them so much that they talked about chapters, and I wanted to go to chapters. And so when my dad went on a business trip to Canada, I said, Dad, can you go to chapters and buy me this book? Because everyone's talking about it on BookTube. And he did. It's the same as the American edition. And then finally, I have Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, because this was probably my favorite series that I read around this point. I also read the Percy Jackson books before I read Harry Potter. I thought this would be a fun reread. I've been like itching to reread the first 5 Percy Jackson books for a while. So yeah. And this, like, Harry Potter is very Nerdfighter, but I think Percy Jackson, because it was popular or becoming popular around the time that Nerdfighteria was in style and really popular, I feel like this makes sense. Also, no tea, no shade. I love the community. This is more me roasting myself than roasting the community. Hi. So I decided to read Percy Jackson, which is what I wanted to read. I mean, I thought about reading those other ones, but my heart was like, really, Percy Jackson, this is such a fun, hopeful series. But I haven't read since I originally read it when I was like 15. So, really enjoying this reread. I'm only like this far into it. You know what's interesting about this series that I think doesn't get a ton of credit for is Rick Riordan does a really great job of writing kind of emotional scenes that don't seem emotional when you're young. It just seems like, you know, you're more interested in like the action and the plot, but as an adult and as a parent, I guess, who would read this to their children, you are really struck by like these little moments between like Percy and his teachers, Percy and his mom, and I think they're really powerful and nuanced and kind of heartbreaking, and they made me cry. One of them made me a little teary at the beginning of the book, and that should tell you where I'm at emotionally. So it's about 6 o'clock, and I'm halfway through, literally halfway through, Percy Jackson. I love seeing the start, the beginning of Percy and Annabeth's friendship, and, you know, what leads to their romantic relationship. They are probably my favorite literary couple, and I adore them as a couple, and they're so sweet together. I'm enjoying reading this again. It's just, there's something about it that's so wholesome and sweet, and it's made me want to read the other books in this series too. So I think I actually might go through and read the rest of them. If you guys want to like see a video or maybe just do that on my own and talk about it, let me know. I thought I would see if I still knew Nerdfighter terms. So my mom has on her phone the official Nerdfighter glossary. She's gonna give me a term, and then I'm gonna try to guess what it is and see if I'm right. And see if, you know, I put 16, 15-year-old me to shame.
1. Anglerfish.
Anglerfish is something that Hank green draws. It's like something he draws on, like, for autographs.
Okay. Cat licking.
I have no idea. Licking a cat?
One of John's punishments wherein he had to go to a Nerdfighter's friend's house to lick their cat, Toby.
Oh my god. Early Nerdfighter days were buck wild.
Blog TV.
It was probably some, like, old school YouTube thing where you could upload videos or something related to early YouTube. What is it?
Website in which people can have live broadcasts and viewers can comment and interact.
So I was probably not a good Nerdfighter then, nor am I now. Okay, well, thanks, Mom.
Okay.
To finish this book tonight, I feel like it's possible because I'm more than halfway through now and it does go really quickly. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a bath, because I read a lot faster in the bathtub. I don't know about y'all. Get cozy and comfy and try to get through the rest of this before like 11, so like an hour and a half. I finished my reread of Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief and I loved it. I mean, this series just means so much to me and these characters mean so much to me, and the relationship that I have to Percy Jackson is the relationship I think a lot of people have to Harry Potter. I read Percy Jackson before I read Harry Potter, and it's a series that I think about quite a lot, and I think about how this series got me through so much in my life. And at least if it didn't have, every book didn't have a profound effect on me, it distracted me from whatever was going on in my life. And so this is actually kind of like the perfect time to reread the series. With everything happening in the world, it's a nice reminder of something hopeful and happy and full of escapism. I really loved this day. It was a really wholesome day, this Nerdfighter day. This whole idea of being a Nerdfighter was all about reducing suck in the world, and though it gets made fun of a lot because it's so wholesome and pure and a little corny, I think what I wanted so badly as a teenager was positivity that I couldn't find in my own brain, and I think I forget about that as an adult too. And I definitely think I'm gonna reread all the books in the series after tomorrow, my final day, which I think will be a fun one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you tomorrow.